Lelang was one of the Chinese commanderies which was established after the fall of Wiman Joseon in 108 BC until Goguryeo conquered it in 313. Though disputed by North Korean scholars, Western sources generally describe the Lelang Commandery as existing within the Korean peninsula, and extend the rule of the four commanderies as far south as the Han River. However, South Korean scholars assumed its administrative areas to Pyongan and Hwanghae region. History. In 1008 BC, Emperor Wu of the Han dynasty conquered the area under King Goguryeo, a grandson of King Wiman. The Book of Han records Lelang belonged to Yuzhou, located in northwestern Goguryeo, consisted of 25 prefectures, 62,812 houses, and the population was 406,748. Its capital was located Nakrang-gyeok, Pyongyang. After Emperor Wu's death, Zhenfan and Lintan were abolished and Shanchu was moved to Liaodong. Some prefectures of the abolished commanderies were incorporated into Lelang. Lelang after the consolidation is sometimes called Greater Lelang Commandery. Since Lelang became too large, the defender of the southern section was set up to rule the 7 prefectures which formerly belonged to Zhenfan. Before that, the defender of the eastern section was set up to rule former Lintan's 7 prefectures. Immigrants mainly from Yan and Qi settled in the former Gojoseon lands and brought with them Chinese culture. Among them, the Wang clan, whose ancestor is said to have fled there from Qi in the 2nd century BC, became powerful. While the Han dynasty was taken over by Wang Mang, Wang Tiao started a rebellion and tried to secede from China. In 30 AD, the rebellion was stopped by Wang Xun, whom Emperor Guangwu appointed as governor. Lelang came under the direct control of China once again. However, the shortage of human resources caused by the turmoil resulted in the abolishment of the 7 eastern prefectures. The administration was left to the Hui natives, whose chiefs were conferred as marquises. At the end of the Eastern Han dynasty, Gongsun-du, appointed as the governor of Liaodong in 184, extended his semi-independent domain to the Lelang and Shanchu commanderies. His son Gongsun Kang separated the southern half from the Lelang Commandery and established the Daifang Commandery in 204. As a result, the Lelang Commandery reverted to its original size. In 236, under the order of Emperor Ming of Kaowei, Sima Yi crushed the Gongsun family and annexed Liaodong, Lelang and Daifang to Wei. Sima Yi did not encourage frontier settlers to continue their livelihoods in the Chinese northeast and instead ordered households who wished to return to coastal and central China to do so, evacuating the region of Chinese settlers. The Jinshu records the number of households in the Korean commanderies of Lelang and Daifang as 8,600 households, less than a sixth of the figures given in the Huanshu for Lelang. Liaodong would be out of Chinese hands for centuries due to the lack of Chinese presence there as a result of the policies the Wei court adopted for the commanderies after the fall of the Gongsun family. Lelang was then inherited by the Jin dynasty. Due to bitter civil wars, Jin was unable to control the Korean peninsula at the beginning of the 4th century and was no longer able to dispatch officials to the frontier commanderies, which were maintained by the dwindling local population of remaining Han Chinese residents. The Zhizhitongjian states that Zhang Tong of Liaodong, Wang Xun of Lelang and over 1,000 households decided to break away from Jin and submit to the Jabei warlord of former Yan Muronghui. Muronghui relocated the remnants of the commandery to the west within Liaodong. Goguryeo annexed the former territory of Lelang in 313. After Lelang's fall, some commandery residents may have fled south to the indigenous Han polities there, bringing with them their culture that spread to the southern part of the Korean peninsula. With the collapse of the commanderies after 4 centuries of Chinese rule, Goguryeo and the native polities in the south that became Baekje and Silla began to grow and develop rapidly. Heavily influenced by the culture of the four commanderies of Han, Goguryeo absorbed much of what was left of Lelang through its infrastructure, economy, local inhabitants, and advanced culture. Unable to govern the region directly and form a new political center immediately, Goguryeo began to consolidate authority by replacing previous government administrators with its own appointed officials, mostly refugees and exiles from China, the most famous being Dongsho, who was entombed at Anaktum No. 3, overtly retaining the previous administrative system of Lelang. In 334, Goguryeo established the fortress and city of Pyongyangsong within the center of the former commandery. Towards the end of the 4th century, in order to focus on the growing threat of Baekje and having checked the power of former Yan and Liaodong, Goguryeo began to actively strengthen and govern the city. In 427, Goguryeo moved its capital to Pyongyang from its former capital of Jian as the new political center of the kingdom in order to administer its territories more effectively. Maps. 4 commanderies of Han with Jin in 106 BC, 4 commanderies of Han in 03 AD.